Are you chasing things that aren't meant for you? In today's world, we're told that success comes from relentless pursuit, chasing careers, relationships, wealth, and recognition. But what if this constant striving is the very thing keeping us from what we truly desire? The Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, taught a different approach. They believed that when we align with nature, master ourselves, and focus only on what we can control, we naturally attract what is meant for us. True power lies not in chasing, but in becoming. This video will explore how to shift from chasing to attracting, using timeless Stoic principles. When you stop chasing, you stop forcing. When you stop forcing, you allow. And when you allow, what is truly meant for you will come into your life effortlessly. Let's begin. Number 1. The power of inner calm over external pursuits. We live in an age where success is often measured by external achievements, the promotions, the titles, the accolades, the possessions. Social media feeds are full of curated images of people chasing success, trying to stand out and be seen. But in all this external noise, the Stoic philosopher reminds us that true power lies within. "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master," said Epictetus. This simple yet profound statement speaks to the importance of mastering ourselves before seeking to master the world around us. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the chase, whether it's climbing the corporate ladder, building an online following, or acquiring material wealth. These pursuits often leave us feeling empty, constantly striving for something that seems just out of reach. But if we focus too much on external goals, we neglect the most important relationship, the one with ourselves. True power comes from mastering our own minds, our emotions, and our actions. The Stoics understood that the only thing truly in our control is our own response to the world. When we learn to cultivate inner calm and peace, we stop chasing after things that may not serve us and start focusing on developing our own virtues. The Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control allows us to be grounded in the present, unaffected by the relentless chase for external validation. In our modern world, the pressure to constantly do and achieve can be overwhelming. Many people feel like they must be constantly working towards a goal, whether it's material or career-focused. But Epictetus's wisdom suggests that real achievement lies not in the outward pursuit, but in mastering our inner world. When we let go of the need for validation and external recognition, we create space to focus on what truly matters, living in accordance with our values, living with purpose. This does not mean we abandon our ambitions or stop pursuing goals. Rather, it means that we stop letting external outcomes define our self-worth. The Stoic approach to life teaches us that we should pursue our ambitions with the understanding that the outcome is not entirely in our control. We cannot control the reactions of others, the success of our efforts, or the recognition we receive. What we can control, however, is the effort we put in and the peace we cultivate in the process. When we stop chasing after external validation and instead turn inward, we begin to live authentically. Our actions become driven by our own values, not by the approval of others. By applying this wisdom to modern life, we can move through the world with clarity, free from the anxiety that comes from constantly striving for something outside ourselves. Number 2, focusing on what you can control. Another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy is the practice of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. Epictetus famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In modern life, we are bombarded with messages that suggest we should always want more money, more possessions, more success. But the Stoic view on wealth is radically different. True wealth is not measured by what we accumulate, but by what we choose to desire, or more accurately, what we choose not to desire. In today's consumer-driven society, it can be easy to get swept up in the chase for the latest trends, gadgets, and experiences. We're taught to believe that happiness lies in acquiring more, and that success is tied to having more than others. But this pursuit is a trap. The more we want, the more we chase, the less content we feel. In contrast, when we focus on what is within our control, our actions, our responses, and our values, we begin to see that true contentment comes not from external possessions, but from the internal peace we cultivate. The Stoics teach us that there are two things in life: what is up to us and what is not. Everything outside of our own mind, our own actions, and our own decisions is beyond our control. The weather, the economy, other people's opinions, these are all external factors. While they may influence us, we cannot control them. What we can control, however, are the choices we make in response to them. By focusing on what we can control, we stop wasting energy on things that don't matter, and instead focus on developing our character and our actions. It is easy to get distracted by things outside our control, especially in the age of social media, where everyone's success is on display for the world to see. But when we learn to focus on our own growth, we stop comparing ourselves to others and instead focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. The Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control also allows us to build resilience in the face of adversity. Life is full of challenges, many of which are beyond our control. Yet, when we focus on our own responses and actions, we gain the strength to navigate these challenges with grace and composure. By practicing this approach in our modern lives, we shift our focus from external events to our internal mindset. Instead of getting frustrated by things beyond our control, we learn to accept them as part of the natural flow of life. We cannot change the weather, but we can decide how we will respond to it. We cannot change other people, but we can choose how we interact with them. This shift in perspective allows us to experience greater peace and contentment, even in difficult situations. In conclusion, the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what is within our control offers a powerful antidote to the anxiety and stress of modern life. By cultivating an inner life based on virtue and mindfulness, we can attract peace and fulfillment rather than chase after fleeting external rewards. In doing so, we move closer to living in alignment with our true selves, embracing both the highs and lows of life with wisdom and grace. Number 3, trusting in the process of life. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it can be difficult to understand the value of patience. Whether it's waiting for a promotion, building a business, or working towards a personal goal, modern life teaches us that we should always be striving for quick results. However, the Stoics offer a different perspective, one that emphasizes the importance of trusting the process and allowing life to unfold in its own time. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Make use of time. Let not advantage slip." This advice is particularly relevant in today's fast-paced world, where the pressure to achieve quickly is ever present. We're conditioned to expect immediate results, whether it's the next big career move, a spike in social media followers, or financial success. This drive for rapid achievement can cause stress, frustration, and feelings of inadequacy when things don't unfold as quickly as we hope. The Stoic approach teaches us to accept that life is not a race. Success is often not an instant result, but a slow, steady process that takes time. By trusting in the process, we learn to be patient with ourselves and the unfolding of events. We understand that success and growth come gradually, through consistent effort over time. Marcus Aurelius's advice to make use of time reminds us that time is the one thing we cannot control, and it will pass whether we are ready for it or not. Therefore, it is better to focus on what we can control in the present moment, our actions, our thoughts, our effort, rather than constantly worrying about future outcomes. When we trust in the process, we begin to see that all the steps, even the failures and setbacks, are part of the journey. The process of life is inherently unpredictable. We cannot always foresee the challenges that will arise, nor can we always control the timing of events. However, what we can control is our response. The Stoics taught that our response to external events is what determines our peace of mind. If we focus on taking steady, purposeful actions while trusting that the results will come in their own time, we free ourselves from the anxiety of trying to force outcomes. In modern life, where instant success is often equated with worth, the Stoic approach offers a valuable perspective. Rather than chasing after quick wins, we can focus on the steady, deliberate actions that will get us where we need to go. By trusting the process, we accept that every moment is an opportunity for growth, and we release the need for immediate gratification. This Stoic wisdom helps us shift our perspective from frustration over slow progress to gratitude for the journey itself. Every step we take, no matter how small, is part of the process. Trusting in the unfolding of life allows us to approach our goals with greater patience and resilience, knowing that the effort we put in today will yield results in time. Number 4. Letting go of desperation and attachment. In the modern world, we are often taught that we must pursue everything with intense desire and urgency. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or a material possession, we are told to chase after what we want with everything we have. But this relentless pursuit can lead to frustration, disappointment, and feelings of inadequacy. The Stoic path, however, teaches us that true contentment comes not from chasing after things, but from letting go of desperation and attachment. As Epictetus wisely stated, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. This concept is incredibly important in today's culture, where attachment to external goals and outcomes is often seen as a measure of success. We may become fixated on achieving a particular outcome, landing a specific job, gaining approval from others, or acquiring material possessions, and when we don't attain these things, it can feel like a personal failure. Yet, the Stoics encourage us to release this attachment and to recognize that what we truly desire is peace of mind, not external validation. The Stoics understood that everything outside of our own thoughts and actions is beyond our control. We cannot control other people's opinions of us, the outcome of our efforts, or the future events that may unfold. When we become attached to these external factors, we are essentially giving away our power. The more we cling to these desires, the more vulnerable we become to disappointment. Instead, the Stoic approach suggests that we cultivate an inner sense of contentment, independent of external circumstances. By letting go of desperation and attachment, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that often accompany the pursuit of external desires. The more we grasp at something, whether it's success, love, or material possessions, the more elusive it becomes. However, when we shift our focus inward and learn to appreciate what we have in the present moment, we find a deeper sense of peace. This is not to say that we should abandon our goals or stop working towards things that matter to us. Rather, it means we should let go of the desperate need for specific outcomes and instead embrace the process, knowing that we can't control everything. In the modern context, letting go of attachment could mean releasing the need for constant approval or recognition. It could mean detaching from materialistic pursuits and focusing on cultivating a life of purpose and fulfillment. It could also mean recognizing that some things are simply beyond our control. People change, circumstances shift, and life is unpredictable. By accepting these truths and letting go of the need to control everything, we can experience a sense of freedom and peace. When we stop chasing after things and instead focus on living in accordance with our values, we begin to attract the things that are truly meant for us. Whether it's the right job, the right relationships, or the right opportunities, the Stoic approach teaches us that when we stop grasping at the world around us, we make space for what truly belongs to us to come into our lives. Number 5. Attracting by cultivating virtue. In a world that often emphasizes the importance of outward appearances and material success, the Stoics offer a powerful reminder that true wealth lies in the cultivation of virtue. As Seneca put it, if you want to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. This idea is not about renouncing material wealth, but rather about understanding that what makes us truly rich is the development of inner virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. The Stoics believed that virtues are the foundation of a good life. They teach us that external circumstances, while important, are secondary to the cultivation of our character. By focusing on living virtuously, we not only create a life of meaning and fulfillment, but we also attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences. When we embody the virtues of a Stoic, we align ourselves with the natural order of the world, and we become magnetic to what is truly meant for us. In modern life, it's easy to get distracted by the pursuit of external success, whether it's a high-paying job, an impressive title, or material possessions. But the Stoic perspective encourages us to turn inward and focus on our character. True success is not about what we have, but about who we are. When we live according to our values, we attract what is in alignment with our true self. We draw opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that reflect the inner strength we cultivate. Cultivating virtue is not a passive process. It requires deliberate effort and a commitment to living with integrity. By practicing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in our daily lives, we become better equipped to navigate life's challenges and to make decisions that align with our highest purpose. This is how we attract what truly belongs to us, not by chasing after fleeting desires, but by focusing on becoming the best version of ourselves. When we live virtuously, we attract the right opportunities, people, and experiences into our lives, creating a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. Number 6, building confidence from within. In modern society, confidence is often associated with external factors such as physical appearance, social status, and achievements. We are led to believe that if we look successful, we will feel successful. But the Stoic philosophers offer a radically different perspective. True confidence comes from within, not from external validation. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This idea encapsulates the Stoic belief that self-mastery and inner strength are the true foundations of confidence. In a world obsessed with outward appearances, the pressure to conform to certain standards of success can be overwhelming. From social media influencers to celebrity culture, it often feels like confidence is something that can only be achieved when you meet certain external benchmarks. However, this kind of confidence is fragile. It is easily shaken by criticism, rejection, or failure. The Stoic approach, on the other hand, teaches us that true confidence is rooted in self-mastery, the ability to control our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, regardless of external circumstances. Building confidence from within starts with knowing and accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all. It means understanding our strengths and weaknesses and embracing them without judgment. The Stoics believe that by focusing on what we can control, our actions, our attitudes, and our responses to the world, we cultivate a deep sense of inner security. When we master ourselves, we no longer need to rely on the approval of others to feel confident. We understand that our value comes from within, not from external validation. This does not mean that we should ignore the opinions of others or dismiss constructive feedback. Rather, it means that we should not base our self-worth on the external praise or criticism we receive. The Stoics understood that our value is inherent and does not depend on what others think of us. By practicing self-mastery, we learn to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure, knowing that we are in control of how we respond. This is the foundation of true confidence, being unshaken by external events and rooted in the belief that we are enough as we are. In the modern context, building confidence from within can be a powerful antidote to the pressures of comparison and perfectionism. When we stop measuring our worth by the standards set by society and instead focus on developing our inner character, we find a deeper, more lasting sense of confidence. This confidence is not dependent on achieving external goals or gaining the approval of others. It is based on the unwavering belief that we are enough as we are. By practicing self-mastery, we attract genuine self-confidence that is unshaken by external factors and grounded in our true selves. Number 7. Aligning with nature's flow. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the idea of living in accordance with nature. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, wrote, "Nature has given us the means to live in harmony with what is." This quote speaks to the Stoic belief that life's events are part of a larger natural order, and that by aligning our actions with this flow, we can find peace and fulfillment. In modern life, we often fight against the natural flow of things, seeking control over events that are beyond our influence. However, the Stoic practice encourages us to accept the world as it is and to live in harmony with nature's rhythms. In today's world, we are often disconnected from nature. Technology, busy schedules, and constant distractions pull us away from the natural world. We are constantly trying to control everything around us, from our careers to our relationships, to our daily routines. This desire for control often leads to frustration and burnout as we try to impose our will on a world that is unpredictable and beyond our full understanding. The Stoics, however, believe that true peace comes from recognizing that we are part of a larger whole, and that we must align ourselves with the natural flow of life. Living in accordance with nature does not mean passively accepting everything that happens to us. It means understanding that there are forces beyond our control and learning to work with them rather than against them. We cannot control the weather, the economy, or other people's actions. However, we can control our responses to these external factors. The Stoics taught that by accepting what is outside our control and focusing on what we can influence, we align ourselves with the natural order of the world. In modern life, aligning with nature's flow could mean learning to go with the flow rather than constantly resisting it. It might mean accepting the unpredictability of life and learning to respond to challenges with patience and grace. It could also mean reconnecting with the natural world, finding moments of stillness and reflection in nature, and allowing ourselves to be reminded of the larger forces at play in our lives. When we live in harmony with nature, we stop fighting against the current and instead flow with it, finding peace in the process. By aligning ourselves with nature's flow, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on the external circumstances of life. We learn to accept things as they are and to find meaning in the present moment, rather than constantly chasing after future outcomes. This is the Stoic way of living, accepting the ebb and flow of life and finding peace in the midst of it all. Number 8. Embracing challenges as opportunities. Life is full of challenges, and in modern society, it's easy to see these obstacles as barriers to success and happiness. However, the Stoic philosophers believe that challenges are not to be avoided, but embraced. As Epictetus said, difficulties are things that show a person what they are made of. This perspective reframes challenges not as problems, but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. In today's fast-paced world, where the pressure to succeed can be overwhelming, the Stoic mindset offers a refreshing approach to adversity. In modern life, we are often conditioned to avoid discomfort and seek ease. We are taught to avoid failure at all costs and to pursue only what is easy or familiar. However, this mindset limits our potential for growth. The Stoics understood that it is through adversity that we are shaped into better versions of ourselves. Challenges test our resilience, our strength, and our character. Rather than viewing difficulties as setbacks, the Stoics teach us to see them as opportunities to grow, learn, and improve. When we embrace challenges, we begin to see them as integral parts of our journey. Instead of fearing failure or setbacks, we learn to welcome them as opportunities for growth. By facing difficulties head-on, we develop the skills and virtues necessary to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and resilience. The Stoic practice teaches us that it is not the challenges themselves that determine our fate, but how we respond to them. When we approach obstacles with a mindset of growth and learning, we transform them into stepping stones rather than roadblocks. In today's world, where success is often measured by smooth, uninterrupted progress, the Stoic perspective offers a valuable lesson. Life is not a straight path. It is full of detours, challenges, and setbacks. However, by embracing these challenges as opportunities, we learn to become more adaptable and resilient. Rather than resisting difficulties, we learn to face them with courage, knowing that they are essential to our growth. By applying this Stoic wisdom, we can navigate the complexities of modern life with greater strength, clarity, and purpose. In conclusion, the Stoic practice of embracing challenges allows us to transform adversity into opportunity. Rather than shying away from difficulties, we learn to face them with a mindset of growth and resilience. By applying this approach to our modern lives, we not only become stronger individuals, but also find deeper meaning and fulfillment in the process of overcoming life's obstacles. Number 9. Letting go of fear and insecurity. In modern society, fear and insecurity often dictate our decisions. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment. These fears can prevent us from taking risks and living authentically. The Stoics, however, teach us to understand that fear is not a reflection of reality, but a product of our thoughts. Seneca famously stated, "Fear is not a good advisor. If you fear pain, avoid it. If you fear loss, accept it." This insight reveals that fear is not something to be avoided, but something to be understood and managed in order to live a life of purpose and peace. Fear often arises from uncertainty about the future. In our modern lives, it's easy to worry about things beyond our control. Will we be successful? Will we be accepted? Will we be able to handle life's challenges? These fears can be paralyzing and prevent us from fully engaging with life. Yet, the Stoics remind us that fear is often rooted in our expectations, not in the reality of the situation. By recognizing that fear is an emotion we can control, we empower ourselves to move forward despite it. Seneca's advice to avoid pain or accept loss reveals the Stoic practice of reframing our fears. The Stoic mindset teaches that pain, loss, and failure are natural parts of life. By accepting that these things will happen, we take away their power over us. When we accept the inevitability of hardship and loss, we are no longer fearful of them. Instead, we approach them with calm and clarity, understanding that they are not to be feared but embraced as opportunities for growth. Fear often stems from the desire for control and perfection. We fear failure because we want to succeed in every endeavor. We fear rejection because we want to be liked by everyone. However, the Stoic approach teaches us that we cannot control others' opinions or the outcome of every action. What we can control is how we respond to fear. We can choose to face it head-on, accept it, and take action despite it. By letting go of fear, we begin to live more fully, unshackled by the limitations our minds have placed on us. In modern life, letting go of fear and insecurity can be particularly challenging, as societal pressures often amplify these emotions. But by adopting the Stoic mindset, we can learn to manage our fear, see it as a temporary and manageable emotion, and move beyond it. By accepting the inevitability of discomfort and loss, we can approach life with greater courage and confidence, understanding that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way. Number 10. Finding peace in simplicity. In a world where excess and complexity often define success, the Stoics remind us that true peace lies in simplicity. As Epictetus taught, the chief function of the body is to carry the soul to the truth, and the soul can achieve nothing greater than to contemplate the truth. This quote speaks to the Stoic understanding that true fulfillment does not come from external possessions or complex pursuits, but from living a simple, virtuous life, focused on the pursuit of truth and inner peace. In modern society, we are constantly encouraged to accumulate more possessions, more status, more achievements. We are told that happiness lies in obtaining the next big thing, whether it's a new gadget, a larger house, or a higher-paying job. Yet, the Stoic wisdom teaches us that these external possessions are fleeting and ultimately do not bring lasting happiness. Instead, true peace comes from within, from the simplicity of living according to our values and pursuing a life of purpose and virtue. The Stoics believed that by reducing our desires and simplifying our lives, we could free ourselves from the constant pursuit of more and create space for true contentment. In today's world, where consumerism and the pursuit of status are constantly reinforced, it can be difficult to embrace simplicity. However, by focusing on the things that truly matter, relationships, personal growth, and inner peace, we can cultivate a life that is both rich and meaningful, without the need for excess. Finding peace in simplicity means stripping away the distractions and unnecessary complications that often weigh us down. It means learning to appreciate the present moment without constantly seeking something more. It involves letting go of the desire to impress others or conform to societal expectations, and instead focusing on living authentically. When we embrace simplicity, we begin to realize that peace is not found in external achievements, but in the quietude of a life well lived, grounded in virtue and purpose. In the modern context, simplicity can be a powerful antidote to the overwhelm and distraction of daily life. By simplifying our goals, reducing our material desires, and focusing on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment, we can create space for deeper meaning and peace. The Stoic wisdom teaches us that less is more, that in the absence of excess, we find the clarity and contentment we seek. Number 11. Attracting what you deserve through self-mastery. In a world that often rewards external achievements and material success, the Stoics teach us that the path to true fulfillment lies in self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Mastery of self is the truest form of success." This concept reveals that true wealth is not measured by external accolades or possessions, but by our ability to master our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. When we cultivate self-mastery, we align ourselves with our highest values and attract the opportunities and experiences that truly belong to us. In modern life, the pressure to achieve external success is ever present. We are constantly told that we need to prove ourselves through our work, our possessions, and our social status. However, the Stoics remind us that true success is not about what we have, but about who we are. By focusing on self-mastery, developing wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice, we create a solid foundation for a life of purpose and fulfillment. This inner strength attracts the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into our lives, allowing us to achieve what we truly deserve. Self-mastery involves controlling our impulses, thoughts, and reactions, rather than being controlled by them. In a world full of distractions, temptations, and external pressures, it can be easy to lose sight of our true purpose. However, when we practice self-mastery, we learn to remain grounded in our values and make decisions based on what is best for us in the long term, rather than seeking immediate gratification or external validation. This discipline is the foundation of a life that is aligned with our highest potential. In modern times, self-mastery can manifest in many ways, whether it's mastering our emotions in difficult situations, cultivating a disciplined work ethic, or staying true to our values in the face of pressure. By practicing self-mastery, we create a life that is intentional and focused, where our actions are in harmony with our deepest values. When we master ourselves, we naturally attract what is meant for us: opportunities, relationships, and successes that align with our true self. By focusing on developing self-mastery, we create a life that is not defined by external circumstances, but by our ability to navigate those circumstances with wisdom, resilience, and integrity. This is the Stoic path to attracting what we truly deserve, not by chasing after it, but by becoming the best version of ourselves. When we embody self-mastery, we attract opportunities and experiences that reflect our inner strength and virtue, leading to a life of fulfillment and purpose. Number 12. Detaching from external validation. In a world that constantly seeks approval from others through likes, followers, status, and external recognition, it's easy to become overly attached to what others think of us. However, the Stoic philosophers teach us that true happiness does not come from the approval of others, but from within. As Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This quote speaks to the human tendency to fear judgment or criticism, often imagining negative outcomes that are far worse than the reality. The Stoic practice encourages us to detach from the need for external validation and to find our self-worth in our own actions and integrity. In modern society, we are constantly bombarded with messages telling us what we should be doing, how we should look, and how we should behave in order to gain approval from others. Social media, in particular, feeds into this culture of comparison, where people often base their worth on how many likes, comments, or followers they have. But the Stoic path offers a radical departure from this mindset. Rather than seeking validation from others, we are taught to focus on living virtuously, regardless of how others perceive us. Our worth is not defined by external recognition, but by our inner character and the actions we take to live in accordance with our values. Seneca's insight that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality reminds us that much of the anxiety we experience over others' opinions is based on our own fears and assumptions, not on objective reality. Often we imagine that people are judging us far more harshly than they actually are. By letting go of this imagined judgment and accepting that we cannot control what others think, we free ourselves from the constant need for approval. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean becoming indifferent to others' feelings or feedback. Rather, it means not letting their opinions dictate our self-worth. The Stoics teach us that we should seek to live virtuously for the sake of virtue itself, not for the approval of others. When we detach from the need for validation, we empower ourselves to live authentically, according to our own principles, without being swayed by external pressures. In modern life, this Stoic practice can help us break free from the anxiety of comparison. Instead of measuring our success by how others see us, we can focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves, grounded in integrity and personal growth. When we detach from external validation, we find peace in knowing that our value is inherent, not determined by others. This inner strength allows us to pursue our goals with clarity and confidence, unaffected by the judgments of others. The wisdom of the Stoics, though centuries old, remains profoundly relevant in the modern world. In an age where we are constantly bombarded with external pressures, from social media to societal expectations, the Stoic principles of self-mastery, detachment from external validation, and living in accordance with nature offer a refreshing path to peace and fulfillment. By focusing on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and responses, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that often come with trying to control the uncontrollable. The Stoics teach us that true happiness is not found in the pursuit of external success or validation, but in the cultivation of inner virtue, resilience, and acceptance of what is beyond our control. By embracing the Stoic mindset, we learn to live more intentionally, navigating life's challenges with greater wisdom, courage, and grace. We let go of the desperate pursuit of fleeting desires and instead focus on developing the character and inner peace that will bring us lasting fulfillment. When we stop chasing what is outside ourselves and instead focus on what truly belongs to us, our values, our actions, and our integrity, we attract the life we are meant to live, rich in meaning and purpose. The journey of applying Stoic wisdom to modern life is one of self-discovery and growth. It challenges us to redefine what success and happiness truly mean, shifting the focus from external achievements to the cultivation of a strong, virtuous inner self. By following the Stoic path, we learn to embrace life's challenges with resilience and to find peace not in the pursuit of more, but in the mastery of ourselves. This, ultimately, is the key to attracting a life filled with what truly belongs to us: fulfillment, peace, and lasting happiness. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it to spread the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos on Stoic living and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and I wish you strength on your journey.